Youorns. Greetings, fellow Watford fans. Omar here, and it's time for the Orns Friday focus on Watford versus Plymouth Argyle. That would be tomorrow at the Vic in the Championship after the disappointment of this midweek defeat to Stevenage in the Carabao Cup. It is indeed back to the Championship, and this Watford men's first team aiming to continue their run to start the season from last week, where they hammered Queen's Park Rangers 4-0 in front of the Watford faithful, and they'll be looking for a repeat of that kind of performance, at least, against Plymouth Argyle. Now, I think this is going to be a very different game for Watford. Plymouth Argyle are coming to the Championship as League One champions. They've also won their first two games of this new season, including the cup competition win that they had in the Carabao Cup in midweek. And I think that they play a very open style, just like Watford do under Val Ismail. So this could be a game where you see a very open game, a very lively game, or it could be a game where the two open sides cancel each other out and it becomes a very cagey affair, a kind of game that actually has very little scoring in it. Now, Watford, of course, scored 4 goals in their last Championship outing. That was just last weekend. Plymouth scored 3 of their own. And of course, these two sides will be looking to both get their second win of the season in the Championship. I think Plymouth Argyle will be a very tough test for teams that are newly promoted. It is always a tricky challenge because, again, they're not going to come in worried. They're going to come in wanting to prove something, to prove that, A, they belong in the division, and also to back up their credentials from the previous season of actually being promoted to the division. And so those things are going to give Plymouth Argyle fuel enough. As for Watford, I think that they've learned a lot, judging from what Val has said in the midweek around what happened in the defeat against Stevenage. I think this team has learned a lot from that defeat. We can only hope that they have, and we'll see ultimately tomorrow whether they have. I do think that Watford will play a lot better than they did against Stevenage, and I do believe that they understand that it is imperative to put the performance in, to keep the mentality and the energy and the commitment going throughout the whole team as they did last Saturday. And I think the key to this will be an early goal for Watford. If Watford get off to the early start that they've got off to, especially in the game against QPR, I think they'll be in good stead. Get that early goal and keep the foot on the gas pedal. Now, look, against Stevenage, we did get the early goal 6 minutes in, but we didn't do the last part of that, which is to put the foot down on the gas pedal and keep it there. That's what Watford will have to do tomorrow against Plymouth Argyle, who will be a different test. They do play a similar formation, type of 4-3-3 that we saw from Val Ismail. I do think there will be a change in personnel for Watford tomorrow. Obviously, if Ngakia isn't able to come back, and I have a feeling that he'll probably be a sub or he won't be in the squad, we'll see what happens with that. I've not known of any news as of late about Ngakia, but I do believe that you'll see a change in personnel tomorrow for Watford. And I think you might even see a tweak in the formation. We'll see what Val does with the back three. Is he going to switch it? The back four, is he going to switch to a back three? What's he going to do with Sierralta? Will he put Sierralta back in at his position and instead of central defensive midfield? We will see how that all plays out. He may make a tweak here or there as far as that's concerned, and we'll see how things go. Georgie will be back. He'll be available according to Val, based on what he said earlier in the week. Tom Ince and Jamal Lewis will be returning next week, so they won't be available for the game tomorrow. And as far as everything else goes, I think pretty much everyone else will be available. We'll see about Jeremy Ngakia. This should be a very exciting game to watch, even if there's fewer goals than I might expect in a game like this. Watford scored 4 last week. How many will they score this week against a Plymouth Argyle side who will be raring to go? Watford cannot take Plymouth lightly, and I think that Watford will not take them lightly. And I do believe that they will bounce back here after the Stevenage game and make it 2 from 2 in the Championship. I'd say the final score here will be Watford 3, Plymouth Argyle 1. This has been the YouOrns Friday Focus.